My whole life has been one that was connected to nature. Since I was a little girl, I was taught to respect nature and all the animals that live there. I was never really aware that some people did not feel that way. When I went to middle school, I began to hear more about the threats that face the natural world, and I was greatly affected. At the mention of a subject that had to do with how the world was headed towards a bad future, I would get very upset, and I would try to push it out of my mind. I would try my hardest not to think about pollution or the fossil fuels I was emitting by driving in a car every day. I made no changes to my everyday life. I was protecting my feelings and at the same time not doing anything to help a cause I cared about. One of my most favorite things to do is go to the beach. I remember taking a day trip to the coast and walking on a small beach. Not many people were around, but there was trash everywhere. I would pick some up, but inevitably there would be too much, and at that point, I would ignore it. This was my philosophy up until this year, when I started taking this environmental studies course. I was nervous about taking this course because I wasn't sure how I would handle hearing about all of the bad things that are going on in the world. I thought I would get too overwhelmed by facts and feel like I can't make a difference. However, the opposite has happened. While there have been many articles and topics we've discussed that talk about depressing matters, there is some part of me that feels much less upset by these facts, and instead I feel more motivated to do something. When I entered my sophomore year, I, like most people, was pretty upset to start school again. A video we watched in class illustrated this feeling well. It was called "Do Schools Kill Creativity?" by Ken Robinson. He talked about how learning has become something that's purpose is to get a grade, instead of learn something important, and enjoy it. Creativity is lost. I feel like this is true for many classes, but not for environmental studies. Until we watched this video, I didn't fully appreciate the creativity that is fostered in this class. He also mentioned a quote that said, "If all the insects were to disappear from Earth, within 50 years all life on Earth would end. If all human beings disappeared from the Earth, within 50 years all forms of life would flourish." I think of this quote as one of the most fundamental ideas that has influenced my thinking. It made me upset to realize, but people as a whole don't do much to help the Earth, and this is quite devastating. One of our assignments throughout the year, called the Future I Want assignment, also played a big role in my learning. Being able to completely separate from facts about how climate change and pollution will affect our future, and have the chance to imagine a future that is completely our own, was a very enjoyable and powerful assignment for me. Somehow, describing and writing down this ideal and perfect future gave me hope and inspired a positive feeling. When a lot of this course has been focused on what negative things have happened to our Earth, I thought it was very powerful and helpful to focus on something that contained happiness and hope. The You Are Here Shishmaref reading also played a large role in influencing my learning. I remember sitting in my room and starting to read the first sentence. I was very intrigued. I felt as though I was there in Shishmaref, Alaska. I was imagining what the poor people were going through and praying the unfortunate events wouldn't happen to where we live. Then, in class, we talked about how people who aren't even close to the main producers of greenhouse gases are receiving the most disruptive effects. I was very angry that people who aren't causing the problem are suffering. This isn't fair, I thought. Why can't people just stop polluting? It can't be worth all the turmoil it is causing and will cause in the future. This environmental studies course has helped me realize just how much our planet needs help. While things seem pretty upsetting, I choose to stay optimistic. Our world is beautiful and needs to be preserved. I will always believe that our future can be one filled with hope, if we push ourselves to make it that way.